I told somebody earlier that they asked me if I felt pressure, and that's the pressure. Sure, I do, but it's just the pressure I put on myself because I don't want to let those guys down. Those guys in our staff room, and then those players week in and week out. You know, that's the pressure you put on yourself. That's what keeps you up at night, is just trying to do your best job for those guys, and for them to know that, and to know that's my motivation when I come into work every day with them.
Justin Gilbert kind of struggled at times last season. What are you expecting to see out of him this year, and what improvements do you expect to see?
You know, I've heard that a lot too, and people just don't realize how it all ties in together. And you know, you might see Justin, might see us give up a play. And I'm not saying Justin will tell you he wants to have a better year, but Justin's a good player. He made a lot of good plays last year, and sometimes when it looks like it was his fault, maybe it wasn't his fault. People don't know that. You know, he has a certain leverage, and he's supposed to have help, and that help didn't show up. Or, you know, it's like day one I told those guys up front, you better be Justin Gilbert's biggest fan. You better be Daytwan Lowe's biggest fan, because if they're in tight coverage, guess what? The quarterback's going to hold the ball, and you're going to be more successful, getting pressure and sacks. Same deal. Justin better be behind those guys up front. Because if they make him throw off balance, if they get him jittery in the pocket, if they make him throw off his back foot, guess what? The ball's going to float a little bit. He can make plays. So I'm not going to buy into that you know, Justin had this awful year. That's ridiculous. And Justin's going to have a great year because Justin wants to. And just like all of them, just like us, you better learn from your mistakes and be better next year.
How exciting is it to have the defensive tackles that you have coming into the season, though?
Yep.
The expectations they have with their play.
You always have to develop great depth up front, because you know, four down front, you better have 8, maybe 9 guys that can play. And if you don't, there's a deficiency when that guy is not in there, when that second guy's in there. Now, I think you know, we've developed a point where we have potentially the opportunity to have good depth. But just to say that we have the talent to have great depth, that talent's what's going to show up against Mississippi State. You know, just what's on paper doesn't mean a thing, and they've got to prove that they can play as effectively as we want them to play. You know, from play 1 to play 68. So we'll see how our depth is based on the production they give us on the field.
How stressful is it to inherit a defense and then go on the road and take on Mississippi State?
You know, that's the first game. So I mean, again. The pressure that is just going to be what I put on myself, whether it be against Mississippi State the opener or Savannah State the opener. It's how good, how effective we can be that day. And if at the end of the day we felt like we played up to our potential, so the opponent really doesn't matter.
I was reading a national writer that said Calvin Barnett is the most NFL-ready player in the Big 12 for this season.
Oh, I tell you, and I know it's not a very sexy answer, but I want Calvin Barnett to have a great day, practice 1 of reporting day, and if I could get Calvin to think like that too, and it's so tough this day with the social media and the press and the exposure these kids have. Calvin's at the end. Let's see what happens with that after that 13th game. You know, after that last game of the season, whatever. Up until that, I just want Calvin to, you know, he's had a great offseason from what I understand, and let's win day 1. And if he can just do that every day, in that first game, we can that night after that first game against Mississippi State, we can say, hey, we did what we needed to do, and he had a good game and he was effective. Then we'll move on the next week.
Coach, you talked about mindset and social media. Where is the mindset with you guys being preseason ranked number 1?
Again, it doesn't come up. It doesn't come up in our circles. It doesn't come up. What does it mean? It doesn't mean a thing. You know, it's all that matters is their preparation when they get in here and winning that first day of practice, right? I mean, so and I know it's you're probably saying there's no way you don't talk about it. Well, we don't, because what does that mean? It doesn't mean a thing. It's totally irrelevant.